Hello listeners, in today's tutorial we will explore the topic asynchronous discussion forums. How can students be motivated to be more present in forums? My name is Donnell Knight French. First, we will define the problem of low participation in discussion forums and examine the reasons for which this may occur. Next, we will take a look at how to address these challenges and at some strategies for increasing participation. So let's get to defining the problem. Asynchronous discussion forums continue to play a key role in fostering collaborative knowledge-building exchanges in the online learning environment. However, despite their popularity, one of the major challenges experienced with their application is that low participation in the forum by students can defeat the purpose of having the forum. Some of the obstacles which can be demotivating as it relates to participating in the forum are lack of timely feedback and feelings of isolation in the virtual learning community. We now turn our attention to some strategies that can be applied to address these low participation rates that occur in some discussion forums. In a study conducted by Onima 2019, it was revealed that one of the ways in which students can be motivated to contribute to discussion forums more frequently and more meaningfully is for facilitators to provide frequent and timely feedback, as this guidance and support allows for the provision of information regarding if the posts being made are of an acceptable standard or if adjustments in any aspect of the posting need to be reviewed. Through giving feedback, the facilitator is also able to model the type of responses that are expected in the forum. For example, a facilitator may perhaps guide a student who has made a contribution that is too formal or too clinical to inject some life or personal experiences into the post. This can have a positive impact on social presence in the learning community. Denoyelle et al. 2014 also suggests that using multimedia to provide feedback can provide a significant motivational boost for students. These authors state that while feedback in text format is a good option, using video and/or audio to provide comments on students' work, especially if those comments are meant to critique the post, can help to diminish the likelihood of misunderstandings. Applying incentives such as grades to the discussion can also encourage higher levels of participation among students. Attaching grades to participation efforts in the discussion can provide the impetus that is needed to extrinsically motivate students to be more intentional about their posting. In fact, the research findings in an investigation conducted by Rovai 2003 suggest that when students, especially those in the adult category, invest time and energy into completing an assignment, they look forward to receiving recognition for it. This author also goes on to state that in the absence of recognition, whether it be grades or other incentives, students are much less likely to make contributions to the discussion forum. As it relates to students feeling isolated in the discussion forum, this can be addressed by implementing measures that increase social presence in the learning community. This can help to foster a sense of community in the virtual learning environment, where students feel safe to express their views. Social cues are the basis upon which social presence in the discussion is built. One strategy for displaying how these cues work is for the facilitator to model them. In a study conducted by Bassani et al. 2010, the data highlighted that when the facilitator models social behaviors that are expected in the discussion forum, it has a high correlation with increased interaction among students. For example, the instructor could share personal and professional stories related to the course context and can model calling students by their first names. This approach can lead to feelings of trust and comfort in the community, and therefore students are more likely to participate in a meaningful way. Since learning and exchange of ideas in the forum cannot occur without social interaction, It is imperative that these social relationships be established, strengthened, and maintained. Consider the implementation of the following additional strategies to help students build collaborative relationships in the discussion forum. Advise students to upload a picture to the forum, to read other students' posts and respond to them, to name their colleagues when they respond, and to give compliments in their responses. To encourage interaction, advise students to rephrase concepts. For example, hello, Mark. I agree with you that the arrival of spring in the text symbolizes a new lease on life. They can also propel the discussion by expanding on concepts. Encourage your students to try this phrase. I agree with your viewpoint on. And to add to it, I also believe that. Students can also add another dimension to their responses by presenting alternate views. They may find this phrase useful. I agree with your viewpoint. However, another perspective could be that. Application of these strategies can lead students to have a more fulfilling and meaningful experience while interacting in the discussion forum. It is important to bear in mind that although the suggested strategies can lead to great outcomes, they're not without their disadvantages. Grading the discussions and providing timely feedback may be very time-consuming, especially if you're facilitating a large class. However, one strategy for overcoming this is to grade periodically rather than waiting until the end of the exercise. Another challenge is that the facilitator needs to help students to establish social relationships without establishing too much influence in the forum, as this may hinder students' autonomy. One way to deal with this is to set a cap for how much you will interject in the forum and stick to it. To recap, today we looked at how providing timely feedback, incentivizing participation, and establishing social relationships in discussion forums address the problem of low participation rates. I hope it was helpful.